You know, I believe that no matter what kind of a life a man has lived, or what wrong things he may have done, that there is good in every man. Take Sean McGibbon, for instance. He'd lived at the Pawnee a large part of his life. Trouble followed him like a stray dog.
What are we waiting for?
The sheriff had set a trap for a band of killers and cattle thieves that had been raiding the local ranches. It was the first time McGibbon had ridden with them, but once was enough.
You're gonna hang, mister! Sheriff! What about the rest of them?
They got away.
Got away? Well, did you get a good look at them, know who they are, where to find them?
No, but he'll tell us.
Well, he'd better.
Sit down.
In the 20 years I've been in this valley, there's been nothing to match what this man's done. Him and the others.
All right, Henry, all right. Now, look, mister. There are two ways you can go. You can help us, and we'll see about helping you. You don't, you won't leave this town alive. Now, let's start nice and easy. What's your name?
You don't have to know that to hang me.
I might want to send a death notice. You got any kin?
You think you can wait and get off easy by facing the judge, huh? Well, mister, he lost men and cattle, same as the rest of us. Right, Dan?
Ain't a man in this valley hasn't had losses.
It's like he says. Now, who were you riding with last night?
Answer the sheriff.
Now, take it easy, Henry.
Just leave him alone with me and Dan for 1 hour, and he'll treat you with more respect.
I don't want to do that. The way you're acting, mister, you don't give me much choice.
I have some water.
Wait a minute. He's too good for plain water. Let's flavor it a little, huh?
You keep that up, you're going to wind up inside.
Well, make him talk.
You're not going to make him talk that way.
You got a better one?
I know he's not going to tell you anything he doesn't want to.
We don't need your help, Bonner.
All right. But remember, you can't scare him and you can't beat information out of a man like McGibbon.
You know this fella, Vint?
I know him some.
Just how well do you know him?
Not well. Better than you do.
Vint. Think you can do anything with him?
I can try.
We don't need you. You either, Mr. Mercer.
Are you forgetting who pinned that star on you, Judd?
I'm not forgetting a thing.
Only waits long enough before telling us. His friends could be in Denver.
That's my worry, not yours. do. I'll give you half an hour.
What chance does he have if he tells you what you want to know?
None if he doesn't.
Remember me? Last time I saw you, I never figured you to wind up in a mess like this. That was when we chased those mescaleros off your place. Remember? Well, I guess there's no use wasting my time.
Now, wait a minute. Get me some food and someone to look at my arm. We'll see.
If you don't tell them what they want to know, you know what they're planning to do to you?
What, hang me?
You think your friends would protect you if the situation was reversed?
They ain't my friends. They'd cost me in a minute.
And why don't you tell the sheriff what he wants? If you're afraid of what might happen, they find out you talked, tell him. He'd protect you.
Look, Bonner, I'll make you a deal. You agree to it, I may still have to hang.
What kind of a deal?
Years ago, I ruined all my chances of ever doing much of anything decent with my life. Except for one thing. Right now, I'm important to someone. Someone that's mighty important to me. My little girl.
Your what?
You didn't think it was possible for a man like me to sire an innocent little girl, did you?
I just never figured.
Well, I didn't want nobody to. I figured I could take care of her myself. So the last few days, I decided I had to do something to get some money. I'd run out of time and thinking of ways to get it without...
Running with that pack again.
Yeah.
Do they know about your girl?
Yeah. And she's there alone. Tomorrow, the next day, I figure I'll get a message that they got her. And that if I talk, they'll... You can see why I gotta keep my mouth shut. I gotta face a rope. Unless you...
Unless I what?
Unless you'll get her, Bonner. You could. They've got a good start, but I could show you a way you could get there in no time.
Why don't you tell the sheriff this?
And have him running up a mountain with a posse. Whoever goes has got to go alone. Be careful. They might be there ahead of you, and they might not. But if they find out what you're after, they'll kill you, and her, too. I'm not asking for myself. If you'll bring her back here safe, I'll tell the sheriff anything he wants to know. It's up to you.
Doesn't look like I've got much choice.
Well, you got a lot more than I have. Here, you'll need this.
What for?
So she'll know you come from me and do what you say.
Couldn't I just give her a message or a note?
She can't read, Bonner. She can't speak or hear either. She's a deaf mute.
After leaving town, I figured I had a good 5 hours ride ahead of me, which meant that I wouldn't reach the cabin and McGibbon's little girl until just before dark.
Well, looks like we found the place.
Still say we should have headed straight for Mexico instead of fooling around here with her.
It's because you're getting old, Rudy.
How do we know McGivern ain't already spoke his little piece to the sheriff?
He hasn't, because he knows we know about her.
Howdy. We're friends of your pa's.
pretty little thing, ain't you?
Got anything to eat around here, ma'am? Did you say something she didn't like?
Cat's got her tongue. Is that right, Gav? No? Just stubborn, huh? Maybe this'll loosen you up. Your pa's in jail, and that's a fact. He sent us to take care of you.
Don't look like she cottons to you, Vestry.
No, it's more than that.
What's more than that?
She wants you to give her something.
I'll give her something. She don't speak to me.
Leave her be, Vestry.
I told you.
Vestry? You better go see what she's up to.
Well, you act like you ain't never been kissed, honey.
Whoa, hold on here now. Wait a minute. What did I do? You want this? All right, here, take your...
So that's what it is. Well, she can't talk. She's an animal. That's what she is. She's a live, warm, beautiful, dumb animal.
No wonder McGivern kept her hidden away up here.
Can I get it going?
You better keep your eye on that girl.
Well, that won't be hard to do.
And I'll be keeping an eye on you. That's one job you fancy too much.
Anything you say, old man.
You figured out how you're gonna get word to her pappy?
Prisoners can receive mail. I'll get somebody to take a letter to the sheriff's office.
How long you figure it'll take you?
If I'm not back by tomorrow noon, you know what to do with the girl. Vestry, you mind what I told you?
Get out.
We better get some fodder up for the horses.
We better head. Still afraid, huh? It's all right.
That's all right. You can get over that. You know you ain't got no more paw. No, not after tomorrow night you ain't. They're gonna hang him. You just got me.
No, I don't speak no Pawnee.
But you're gonna understand me a lot better than you do, Rudy.
It was getting late in the day, but according to McGivern's directions, I couldn't be too far from his place now. Trouble was, Just about every one of these mountain trails looked alike.
Where's Vestry?
He asked for it. Did she kill him? Well, never mind about that now. Just saw a rider coming down the trail, and it could be Vint Bonner.
Jeb, what do we do with him?
Take him with us.
I'd been hoping that McGivern's girl would have a horse of her own. Since there wasn't one in the corral, looked like Scar would have to put up with us riding double.
Jeb, you said you wanted to wait.
Why? The minute he gets in there, she's gonna tell him about us.
Now, how can she do that?
Look, you don't have to be afraid of me. You can put the jar down. Your father sent me to you. Do you recognize this? Your father gave this to me to give to you. You understand? Well, there's no need to be afraid. How in the world? I must have been here already. The thing to do now is find out why they left without you. Look, I'm not going to leave you. When I go, I'll take you with me. Is that your mother? Your father sent me. Your father. He wants me to bring you to him. When I leave, I'll take you with me. Understand? I'm just going outside to take a look around. Near as I could figure, at least 2 of them had been here. And they hadn't been gone more than half an hour.
They'll wait till dark now.
I was lucky. It was barely a scratch. But it meant we'd have to pull out as soon as it was dark. car wouldn't be able to carry us too far, not after what I'd put him through the day before. And I knew they'd be following us. If they got too close, I'd have to make a stand.
Come on.
We've lost him. Might just as well get out of here.
No.
Bonner! Give us the girl! We don't want no trouble with you, but we gotta have that girl!
You go ahead. Circle around. I'll protect your flank.
Jeb, you're making me a target.
Listen, we'll both be targets if he gets that girl into town. Now go on.
Hold right there, mister. I'd arranged for Peggy McGibbon to stay with Parson Morgan and his wife, while their pa spent a couple of years in the territorial prison. She's saying she'll miss you. The parson's wife taught her. She'll know a lot more in 2 years.
Well, it's almost worth it. Golly, it is worth it.
Was still in the valley, we all knew that. But there were 1,000 places to hide in this country. And the nearest law was 6 days away. It was hard to believe that he'd try to get through the swamp along the river. It was nearly impassable and full of quicksand. No one but a completely desperate man would try it. But Bud Rainey was a completely desperate man. I couldn't have thought more of him if he had been my own kid brother.
That about the right size for Bud Rainey's neck? You used to know him pretty well. You ought to know his neck size.
Where's Bill?
Back at the ranch, having it out with that pretty little wife of his. She used to know Bud Rainey pretty well, too, didn't she? Maybe Bill figures she knowed him too well.
Watch your mouth, Cole. And you won't need this.
You help raise a wolf pup, Bonner. Don't blame me if he turns and bites you.
You're not in charge here. Bill Clayton is. We all agreed on that. We'll do it his way.
Who says we ain't doing it Bill Clayton's way?
I'd known Bill Clayton and his wife Mary as long as I'd known the man we were hunting. It was hard for me to think of any one of them without thinking of the other two. They had been that close. And now Bud had killed, ruthlessly, without reason. And he'd have to hang for it. But a lynch mob noose wasn't the way. Not because he was our friend, but because he was a human being. I figured I could count on Bill Clayton feeling the same way I did.
What proof do you have? Do you know it was Bud, or do you just need someone to accuse?
It's my responsibility, Mary. Do you think I like it?
That's what I'm asking you, Bill Clayton. That's what I want to know.
Hello, Ben. Bill?
Vint! Oh. What are we going to do?
We're gonna listen to Bill. You know where I stand. Yeah? Do Cole and those other boys on the North Fork, do they know where you stand? They've got their orders. And they're getting out of hand. They've been up 2 days and nights. What do you expect them to do? I expect them to act like men who know the law. We've got enough trouble as it is. Those men are my neighbors, Vint. They've got a stake in this valley the same as I have. When a decision's made, they'll all have their say. What's your decision going to be, Bill? You know Bud as well as I do, Vint. But do you know which way a killer wolf will jump next?
How can the two of you stand there and talk about Bud as if he were some animal to be hunted down? Have you forgotten who he is? That he's our friend?
Bud made this decision, Mary. I didn't.
That's right. You didn't. You can just stand there and be judge and jury and put 20 men out there with guns and ropes.
Stop it, Mary.
No, I won't stop it. I'm sick to death of all this talk of duty and justice and right and wrong.
Bud Rainey killed a woman. Can't you face that?
No, I can't face it. I can't face it because I don't believe it. And neither do you. You're not remembering Bud as we used to know him. The only thing that you're remembering is that I was in love with him before I married you.
You coming, then? I'll stay a while.
Bill! I didn't mean to say that. I didn't mean to say that.
Mary, it's not that Bill and I have forgotten Bud. It's just that we can't think about it any other way.
Then you think that Bud's guilty? You believe what everybody is saying?
I have to, Mary. You don't have a choice either.
You're wrong, Vint. I do have a choice. I don't expect you to understand this, but, well, a woman can love a man and be his wife and still have a great tenderness for the past that's as big as love itself.
Everyone has memories. Those were good times for you and Bill and Bud.
And you, Vint, always there to give us advice and taking our part. How did you ever put up with us?
Someone had to.
Oh, Vint, where did it all go wrong?
I don't know, Mary, but try not to think of that. Think of where it went right with you and Bill.
What will you do?
There's not much I can do. I'll try and see that he's not hanged by a lynch mob.
Vince, wait! I'm going with you. It'll only take me a minute to get ready.
No, you're not.
Don't you see that as long as I'm there, they won't do anything to Bud?
Do you want to get yourself killed?
Why, Bud wouldn't hurt me.
Mary, he's already killed one woman. Bud's trail led straight to the swamp. It would only be a matter of time until Bill and the posse picked it up. With 20 men scattered through that brush, Bud could sit back there and pick them off. Alone, I might have a chance. Maybe I figured I could surprise him. Or maybe I was remembering the kid I'd helped to raise and hoping he'd remember me the same way. The one thing I hadn't counted on was Mary Clayton's stubbornness. Come on out!
Vent, please. Look, I'm only trying to help.
Mary, I ought to turn you over my knee.
Vent, it wouldn't be the first time.
In the name of all that's holy, can't I explain to you that... No, I suppose I can't.
Now look, I want you to sit there and don't make a sound, do you understand?
Vent,
What do you want?
be careful.
Again, and I'll use this. Mary. Where's Bill? Where's the posse?
The other end of the valley.
That's good. Yeah, that's good. Look, Mary, you gotta help me.
That's why I came here, Bud.
Who's with you?
Get him up high, Bud. You all right, Mary?
Well, you think I'd hurt her? I didn't know it was Mary. Then I'm glad to see you. It's like old times.
Up.
Look, I wouldn't do nothing. Not to the only two friends I ever had. Not to you and Mary. Look, I got no gun. I lost it 2 days back. I run my horse into the ground. I ain't had a bite to eat in 4 days.
Oh, Bud.
Oh, Mary. If you only knew how often I thought about you. And you, Vent? Do you think I forgot everything you done for me? Hey, remember that saddle you gave me? That was the best saddle I ever had. Look, Vent, you don't need that gun, not with me. I'll listen to what you say. I always did listen to what you said.
Yeah. But not enough.
What are you gonna do?
I'm gonna take you in.
You mean you're gonna turn me over to that posse? Now look, Vent, I've been watching them. They're kill crazy. You're not gonna turn me over to them.
I'll take you to the county seat.
Well, that's a 6-day ride. How are you gonna get me there? I don't trust none of them. Not even Bill. Now look, who's going with us?
Just you and I, alone.
Bud, you can trust Vent.
Yeah, all right. I'll trust Vent. I trust the two of you. Nobody else.
Vent, he's hungry. We could go back up to the house. The men won't be back for an hour or so. I could fix something to eat and, well, Vent, you must be hungry too. Please, Vent.
Move.
I forgot that silly thing.
And then when you opened that desk, and that little old skunk came out.
Wish it was that way forever, the way it was then.
Childhood doesn't last forever, Mary.
I don't know what got into me. Just seemed like everybody, everything was against me. And then when you and Bill got married, and Vint left.
I asked you to go with me.
I wanted to be on my own, Vint. Don't you see that? Well, I wasn't going to lean on nobody. No, I wasn't going to grab for the gun, Vint. I guess I got no right to expect you to believe in me. I know what they're saying about me. There's no use denying it. I suppose you believe it.
No, Bud. I don't believe it.
Oh, Mary. If it could have only been you and me, instead of you and Bill.
That's enough, Bud. That could be Bill and the boys.
You turned on me, the two of you. I should have known it.
No,
you led me into a trap. I want a gun, Vint. I got a right to protect myself.
You got a right to a trial. Nothing more.
What kind of a trial? You think them men out there's going to give me a trial?
I told you I'd get you out of here. It'll have to be through the swamp. Mary, is there another horse in the barn?
Right.
So ashamed. I didn't mean what I said before.
Oh, I understand, honey. I wanted to tell you I understood, but I always seem to think of the words when it's too late to say them.
I didn't expect you back so early.
Oh, we got to get some fresh horses. Cole Ramsey and some of the other boys want to try the swamp. You've had company?
Oh, yeah, Dan McCaskill and Joe Schaefer stopped by. They look so tired. I fixed them something to eat.
Mary, Dan McCaskill and Joe Schaefer are right outside. They've been with me all day.
Oh, well, it was...
Where is he, Mary?
Billy hasn't got a gun or even a horse. You can't run him down.
Mary, I asked you where he's hiding.
I'm not going to let you do this to yourself. Or to us.
You can't protect him.
I can protect him. You and Vint and I are the only friends he's ever had. Bill, we've got to help him. He needs us.
He's a killer.
So will you be if you turn him over to that so-called posse out there. Now, he has his rights. I'm not going to tell you where he is. And if you think it's because I was once in love with him, why...
You said that, Mary. I didn't. Is Vint with him? Oh, Mary. Better get that swamp mud up off the rug before somebody sees it. Might make a stain.
Come on, Bill. We're wasting time.
Bill!
I want to flush me a wildcat out of them swamps.
We're not working the swamp.
What? We decided on it.
It was a bad decision. If he's there, we can never find him in the night. Besides, I don't think he's there anyhow. I figure more like Cedar Breaks.
Oh, that's all right with me. We'll set fire to the thickets and smoke him out.
She ain't coming, Vint.
We'll wait.
Vint,
Yeah.
I want to talk. Been a long time since I had a chance to talk.
I'm listening.
I ain't all bad, then.
I never said you were.
I made mistakes, maybe too many of them. The one big one was when I didn't go with you at that time when you asked me to.
I think it was before that, Bud.
You mean that shooting in Sand City? Well, that was self-defense. Even the judge said so. You spoke up for me. Man's got to stick up for his rights. You had to kill a man for a reason. Now what's so different about me?
You liked it. I never did.
Maybe that ain't so, Vin. Maybe I don't like looking into the coals of the fire any more than you do. Vin, give me a chance.
Why?
You take me into trial. They hear my name, and every killing in the last year, they'll lay it on me. What kind of a chance is that?
Best one I can give you, boy.
No, it ain't, Vin. You wanted me to go up to Montana with you. I'll go. It'll be like old times, just you and me. Oh, please, Vince. Please, you're the only one that ever tried to help me.
Someone's coming.
Vince, didn't you hear anything I said?
I heard you.
I got a good horse. I put as much canned goods as I could in the saddlebag. Also a canteen of water. I brought another gun, too.
I see. Have any trouble?
Bill knows you're here. He knows what you're trying to do.
What?
Don't you see? Bill thinks the same way as we do. He knows that you and Vint are here in the swamp.
You told him, you fool!
Take your hands off her. What happened?
He turned the posse away from the swamp, up to Cedar Breaks. Don't you see? Bill's trying to help. You can take the North Trail out of here. Nobody's going to stop you.
That's a trap. I ain't riding out of here right into their arms.
But it's no trap. Bill's trying to help you. He's your friend.
Yeah, fine friend. Fine friends, all of you. Vint with a gun on my back, and you telling Bill where I am. Now there's a posse out there just waiting to get me.
I've had about enough of you, Bud. Now you listen to me. Bill Clayton lives in this valley. He's going to have to face these people the rest of his life. And he's risked his reputation, everything he's got, just to give you a break.
You really believe that, don't you?
I believe in Bill.
All right, maybe I was wrong. Maybe I got a little excited.
Yeah, maybe you were. Now get on the horse.
Look, I'll go. No trouble. But I got my rights. You said that yourself. Just let me have a gun.
No.
Just give me a gun to pack. Just so I know I'll have it. It ain't fair, Vince. I got no way to protect myself. They'll come after me and they'll shoot me down in cold blood.
I say they won't.
You think they're going to listen to you? Why, you're helping me to escape. They won't stop to ask questions. They'll cut you down just as quick as me.
I'll take that chance.
But it isn't so. You can trust us.
I don't trust nobody. Let's you and I make a break. We'll go away together, like I said. Is it a deal?
No deal, Bud. Not now or ever. Mary?
No, Bud.
Put it down, Mary. You don't need that. Mary, Vince was going to turn me in. He was going to double-cross me.
Stand back.
You don't understand, Mary. I just wanted a gun to carry. I didn't even care if it was loaded or not. Men stand back when they see Bud Rainey with a gun. They get scared and they stand back. Now give it to me.
Stay away from me.
Look, Mary, this is Bud. You don't have to be afraid of me. I'm gonna take you with me. Just like we always planned it. Yeah, we're gonna ride double. They wouldn't dare shoot at me if you were along with me, would they?
That's all we mean to you, isn't it? Any of us. Just things to use and then throw away when you're through with us.
No, you're wrong. Because I love you. Look, Bill ain't right for you. It's me. Look, I love you.
You don't know the meaning of the word. You never did and you never will.
I told you nobody gets in my way. Just nobody!
Everything they said about you is true. Everything. You did kill a woman.
That man I just shot, Mary. We never knew him. Not you or Bill or I. We never knew him at all.
It's all right, Vince.
That Mary's a good nurse.
You know, if it came right down to it, I would have stopped him some way or another. Neighbors or no, I just couldn't let him hang, Bud.
You proved that, Bill, when you pulled that posse off and gave us a chance to get out.
I wanted to tell Mary, but I just have trouble finding words when I need them most.
She'll understand.
I hope so. I love her an awful lot, Vin.
Tell her that, Bill. Keep telling her. Pain and grief, well, they pass and they can be forgotten. It's only the good and pleasant things that a man can remember forever. I knew it would be that way now with Bill and Mary. I knew it had to be that way with me. Ghost Town's a peaceful enough place to spend the night, but this one wasn't always peaceful. Used to be the toughest town in the territory. It still had a kind of a feeling about it.
Tex McCloud! Where are you?
For a moment, I thought the old town had come to life. That's silly. Anybody here?
Tex McCloud! Ellis Locum, where are you?
Who are you?
Tex,
Hey, you ain't Tex McCloud. What's going on around here?
Hold it right there.
Young fella, a lot of good men have died pointing a gun at me.
It's gonna stay pointed till I know who you are.
I reckon you're new around here. You ask Ellis Locum who I am. Or Rex. Or Frank Miller, they'll tell you.
I'm sorry, old-timer. Tex McCloud's been dead for 9 years.
Dead?
That's right. Ellie Slocum. She hasn't been heard of since she broke out of jail some time ago, and Frank Miller got killed in a gunfight at Pawnee Falls, I think.
Dead? All dead.
That's right.
My name's Matt Harper. I used to live here. Yes, indeedy. I'll tell you, this here was a bang-up town, too. Nice little town I ever lived in. That there was the finest saloon for 100 miles around. Yes, indeedy. When I rid into town just now, I kind of thought my eyes was fooling me. Then I started calling from old friends, and nobody answered.
I heard you.
And I suddenly realized I just an old man. Without nothing. No friends. Nowheres to go.
I think I know you, Matt. Aren't you the one that served 10 years in prison for a bank robbery you didn't commit?
Hey, I'd have served 110 if they'd caught me for the ones I did commit.
You got any money?
Mister, I'm flat on a pancake.
You can't stay here.
No, I reckon not. Tell me, what's your name?
Vint Bonner.
Vint. Tell me, Vint, how come this here town died like this?
Water. They ran out. Most everybody moved to Medina. That's a town about 10 miles from here.
Oh, Medina was never no great shakes.
Had water, and it grew. I'm going that way in the morning. I'd be glad to have you along.
Oh, it's mighty kind of you, Vint. Mighty kind. I gotta have a little rest now. I'm plumb tuckered out.
Come on over here. Things in the sheriff's office. What do you think of that?
Ellen Larkin.
I'm going to call the sheriff.
What? Well, you are Ellen Larkin, ain't you?
Yes, but I don't know you.
Matt! I'm Matt Harper. Matt! I'm sorry, miss, but this is Matt Harper. He used to live over in Pine Bluff a long time ago.
Oh. You must mean my mother. Her name was Ellen, too.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, by jingles. You're just as pretty as your ma. Prettier.
See? No harm done.
Of course. I'm sorry I was so angry, Mr.
Bonner, my name. Vint Bonner.
Mr. Bonner. Well, I've got to get off to work.
Yeah. Jingles, town's changed some, ain't it?
Things do, Matt.
Yeah. Sidewinders don't change none, though. They never do.
Well, come on, I'll buy you some grub.
Oh, thank you. I sure could use some.
Hello, Joe.
Well,
Father.
How you doing?
Fine. How are things to running in?
Well, not bad. We just shipped a fair-sized herd. I thought I'd come to town and spend a little money.
Well, got plenty of ways of taking it here. What's on your mind, Ben?
Say, Joe, do you remember Matt Harper?
Say, you ain't run into that old goat, have you?
Why?
Well, I just got a notice here to be on the lookout for him.
Well, I thought he was pardoned.
Well, he was. But you listen to this. The governor just signed a bill paying him $3,000 indemnity.
He what? Wait till Matt hears that. I just rode up from Pine Bluff with him.
Oh, you don't say. Well, I'll just wire him to send the papers here. Tell him drop in, will you, Vin?
I'll do that.
Don't reckon he'll give me any trouble, do you?
Why should he?
You know, he was the best man with nitroglycerin there ever was.
Nitroglycerin, that's right powerful stuff, isn't it?
Kind of looks like water. You know there wasn't a bank vault made that he couldn't blow? I reckon he's too old now.
Yeah, let's hope so.
$3,000, that's chicken feed. I lost that in a poker game once. Didn't take me 10 minutes. I don't know, Vint. I don't... You remember that there old saloon, Pine Bluff?
Sure, I remember. Wasn't much, though.
I'd like to buy it.
What for? Nobody ever goes there.
I know, but kind of a nice idea. I could hole up there and drink my own liquor and kind of hope that maybe some of the old-timers drop in once in a while.
Well, that sounds like a good idea to me.
Hey, you know, when the man gets to be our age and time comes he wants to stop wandering, he wants to settle down, you know, stop roaming.
Well, the nice thing about that is you could do it.
Think so?
Sure. Just take that money.
What money?
That money from the state, the $3,000.
You ain't ever minded I'd take that money, are you?
Well, why not?
Why not? You locked me up for something I never done. A bank robbery I never done. If I was to take that darn money, I'd be admitting they were right. It'd be just the same as my forgiving them. And I ain't of a forgiving nature. I can keep that dang money.
Look, Matt, you could buy the saloon with it.
No, sir. The way I figure it, the state owes me a bank robbery. What you might say, one on the house.
But, Matt... Now, Matt...
He sure knew where he was heading. Straight into the bank.
Hello there.
Hello. I saw Matt come this way. I thought I better come along.
He's trying to get a loan.
Yeah, that's what I was afraid he might be doing.
He's such a nice old man. You know, it's hard to believe he was ever an outlaw.
Yeah. I'll go over and help him.
You're worried about him, aren't you? You know, I'll bet you're the only friend he has.
That may be true. Of course, I'm not sure he needs one. Excuse me.
Impossible. No bank would make such a loan. Yeah, that's kind of what I figured.
Hi, Matt.
Well, hello there, Vint.
Mr.
I
Taylor.
just been discussing getting that loan to fix up the saloon I was telling you about.
Fix up a saloon? You've been trying to get money out of the bank without any security.
Well, that's been done.
Look, Mr. Taylor, would $3,000 be enough to buy the old saloon and fix it up and stock it?
Well, yes, that would do it, but hardly be worth the investment.
Oh, Matt doesn't want much. He just wants to make enough to get by and to kind of retire and see some of his old friends.
A bad investment. The bank wants no part of it. Hey, where is he?
Hey, get away from my new safe. You know, years ago, I took me a dislike to bankers. I ain't changed none.
I know who you are.
Oh, you do you?
Now, look, Matt. Something, mister.
Matt,
I've opened better boxes than this here thing blindfolded.
Let's go back to the
I wouldn't need
Put your tape measure away.
to get into that
Just
thing.
put the tape
I could open that thing with a bottle of ketchup. I want to tell you right now.
Goodbye, Mr. Taylor. Goodbye, Ellen.
I swear to you, Vint, I only went in that there bank to see that feller about getting a loan to buy that saloon.
Oh, sure. Then you just tell me what you were doing with that measuring tape.
Oh, just force of habit, that's all. I've always been curious about safes.
So help me, Matt. If you blow that bank, we are through.
Besides, like I said, I figure I got one job owed me.
Matt, stay away from that bank. Stay away from all banks. As a matter of fact, stay right here till I get back.
All right, I will.
Matt behaving himself? Yeah, so far.
Well, I wired away for the papers. Reckon they'll be here on the next stage.
Good.
Vince, you act like you're worried about Matt.
Did you see those two men across the street? A tall one, kind of a blocky one. Hungry-looking Jaspers.
Tall one's Floyd Winter. The other one's Russ Cantrell. They were in prison with Matt. Bank robbers.
Uh-oh. That's what I was afraid of.
Then, what makes you worry about Matt so much?
When he was arrested 10 years ago, I was riding deputy sheriff in the posse that arrested him. I helped send him up. And he wasn't guilty.
But you didn't judge him? Or convict him?
No. But let's just say I figure I owe him something in return.
Now, you gotta sign the paper and take the money.
No, sir. I ain't forgiving them for making me serve 10 years.
Don't you understand? You've gotta take the money.
No, sir. Besides, if I took it, it might interfere with some plans of my own.
Well, what do you expect me to do with it?
I don't know. But I ain't taking it off your hands. Come on, Vint, let's get out of here. Come on, Vint, doggone it.
You know those men?
Now,
Now look, Matt, I got my neck stuck out far enough for you.
All right, I know them. They was in prison with me, yes.
What are they doing here?
Fixing to rob the bank.
Oh. Did you throw in with them, or did they throw in with you?
Neither. So far.
Look, Matt, won't you take the $3,000?
Look, I told you how I felt about that money now,
All right. Sheriff's got a paper for you to sign. Something you should have signed before you left prison. Here.
Well, I'll sign it.
Don't you want to read it?
I can't read. But if you say it's all right to sign it, I'll sign it. I'll make the mark. There.
Here, take this.
If you think I'm going to deliberately let Matt Harper rob the bank, you're out of your head.
Mr. Taylor, simmer down here. Have a seat, will you?
You know, I'm kind of getting it myself, Vince.
Oh, I think it's a perfectly marvelous idea.
Mr. Taylor, Matt's gonna rob your bank anyhow.
Now, let me see if I've got this straight. We put Matt's own $3,000 in the safe, and he'll think that he's stealing the bank.
No. Bonner, you're trying to use me to ease a bad conscience.
You can put the bank money someplace else.
I remember the robbery you helped arrest him for. You just tracked him down with a posse. You didn't identify him. None of it was your fault.
I want to help him. If he knew I was trying to help him, he wouldn't accept it, just like he won't accept the money from the state.
Vint, hasn't he recognized you?
No, I didn't stick around long. I didn't stay for the trial.
I think that's wonderful of you, Vint.
The whole idea is ridiculous.
Mr. Taylor, he's gonna blow your new safe open anyway.
I remember my mother used to say there wasn't a safe he couldn't break open.
I've heard enough.
Well, you'll do it then?
I won't have anything to do with it. If Matt blows my safe, I'll see that he goes back to prison again. And this time he'll never get out.
You got me in an awful mess, Vint. Matt signed that paper. He's got to take the money.
I'll talk to Taylor again in the morning.
Vint, what about those two friends of Matt's?
Russ and Floyd.
Well, I don't know their names, but they've been watching the bank most of the day, and I thought maybe they'd be interested in helping, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, Ellen, I'll take you home now.
Good night, Sheriff.
Night.
Good morning.
Good morning, Ellen. Has Matt been around?
Why, no.
How about his two friends?
No, you're the first person to come in so far, Vint.
I see. How is Mr. Taylor this morning?
Grumpy, as usual.
Well, I'll try again anyway. Morning, Mr. Taylor. I wanted to talk to you about that little scheme we went over last night.
I said no, and I mean no.
Don't say I didn't warn you.
Over to the safe. You and your ideas.
Go on, go on. Well, I thought you'd come in with us, Matt.
Russ, get over there and help Floyd.
Get into that safe. Go on. Go on, get in there. Hey, who you pointing that gun at, Matt?
I told you two fellas to keep out of my bank, didn't I?
Why, you old... We're double-crossed.
Ellen, get the sheriff.
You young fools. You and your guns. You don't need a gun to rob a bank.
Well, Mr. Taylor, how about our scheme now?
Vint, I think I'll take me a little ride to Pine Bluff.
At night?
Sure, horses can see in the dark.
Well, thanks again for helping me today at the bank.
Oh, shucks, that wasn't nothing. I don't cotton the gunslingers nohow.
Take care of yourself.
That's just what I aim to do. Night.
Last time I saw him, he was heading for the back door.
Well, if he blows that, he'll make so much noise.
Look, he said he could open this place with a bottle of ketchup. Just relax.
Yeah. How soon?
I don't know, but I think he has to drill a couple of holes first.
But the safe ain't locked.
Maybe he doesn't know that.
Yeah, well, I guess you wouldn't expect him to know it ain't locked.
Just be calm.
Yeah. Hey, here comes Ellen and Mr. Taylor.
Yeah, well, it's his bank.
Come on. Come on. Get out of the way. Taylor, come on.
Nothing yet?
No, I think he just got through the back door.
I still don't like it.
Why, Mr. Taylor, the way Matt saved your bank this morning.
He didn't fool me on that. He just wanted the bank to himself.
a man in there robbing the bank, and we don't want him disturbed.
That's right, so get out of here.
Ah.
There's a man in there robbing the bank, and they don't want him disturbed. Robbing the bank? Let's get the sheriff.
I'm the sheriff. Get out of here. Go on.
Oh, he's the sheriff, and there's a man robbing the bank. I don't want no more of this.
Out. You can get out. Go on. How long does it take him?
I don't know. I never robbed a bank before.
You sure he won't blow it open?
You didn't lock the door, did you?
No. All he has to do is turn the handle.
The thing to do is to be quiet, calm, and wait.
I've never been so excited.
One on the house.
I wish he'd hurry up. My wife gets mad when I'm late as this.
My new safe!
This doggone thing wasn't even locked. Can't trust them darn bankers.
New safe.
Yes, sir. You can't trust the banker.
One thing nowadays, when I want a drink, I won't have to ride all the way into Medina. There's a nice little place in a ghost town of Pine Bluff. I'm kind of looking forward to it.
Take care of your horse, mister? Rub him down for a dime.
Time doesn't sound like too much. Yeah. Say, whose funeral?
Dave Regan. He was the sheriff.
I knew who he was. He'd been a friend of mine for a long time. He was why I was here, to be the best man at his wedding. What happened to Dave Regan?
You a friend of his?
I came 100 miles to be best man at his wedding.
Must be Vint Bonner. Yeah, Dave talked about you a lot.
What happened?
He was killed the day before yesterday. A man by the name of Vance Carter. Ever hear of him?
Vance Carter. I've heard the name.
A professional gun. Came into town 3 nights ago looking for Dave. When he rode out, Dave was dead.
Where is this Carter now?
He could be anywhere. We've been out chasing him all day yesterday and today. We lost him in Devil's Canyon.
And that's going to be the end of it?
Look, Bonner. I was Dave's deputy. He was my friend, too. Everybody in this town liked him. Now, there are 30 men from Dorado out there that haven't been out of their saddles for the past 2 days. Does that sound to you like we don't care?
How did it happen?
He shot in the back.
Any witnesses?
No, I told you he was shot in the back. Anyway, what difference does it make? We know who did it.
You've got a town to run, Sheriff. That's your responsibility. I've got a responsibility, too. That's to find this hired gun.
Now, look at Bonner. We'll find him. Every peace officer in the territory is looking for Carter.
I'm still gonna try.
All right, I can't stop you. When are you leaving?
After I've talked to the girl he was going to marry.
And I think you'd better have a fresh horse.
Much obliged. Mr. Sturgis?
Yeah? Who are you?
Well, I'm a friend of Dave's, sir. I'd like to talk to you.
Come in, son.
Is Nancy here, Mr. Sturgis?
Nancy? Oh, she's had a bad shock. She's been bad ever since it happened. You say you're a good friend of Dave's?
I was a good friend.
I couldn't have loved him more if he'd been my own son. Saw him every day. He used to pick me up at the mine and drive me home. Mister, I spent 40 years digging and working the mining claims. Always hoping that I'd make the big strike so Nancy and the man she marries could have something. You know something, son? I made the big strike a week ago. You believe me?
I believe you. If it helps any, I'm going to try to bring in his killer.
You do that, son. I'd go with you, but Ben Webster says I'm too old. And you know something, son? Maybe he's right.
Would you tell Nancy I was here?
Your name? What did you say your name was?
Vint Bonner.
You all right?
Thanks to you, I am.
That's a new experience for me. Actually, I don't like seeing anyone ambushed. What'd you do?
Do?
Well, you must have done something. Somebody wanted you killed pretty badly.
I can't think of anyone.
I guess you don't always need a reason.
Well, thanks again. My name's Vint Bonner.
Glad to know you, Bonner. I'm Vance Carter.
Vance Carter?
That's right. You've heard of me?
More than that. I was looking for you.
What's this, a business matter?
Not exactly. I was going to take you someplace. Alive or dead.
That's very funny. Which one of your relatives left this world because of me?
No relative. A good friend. A sheriff named Regan.
Regan? I don't know any Regan. Where's he from?
Dorado.
Dorado.
Ever been there?
I was. How did your friend die?
He was shot. In the back. By a professional.
But it's true, my gun is for hire. That's my business. In a sense, I'm a gambler. But I don't gamble for money. I gamble for higher table stakes. My life. I don't shoot people in the back. Every man I've faced has had an even chance.
From what I hear, not with your speed.
You never know when you meet a faster one. Might be today, might be tomorrow. Who says I killed Regan?
The whole town?
I see. It all ties in. Do you know why I was in Dorado?
I'm listening.
I got a letter from a man offering me $1,000 for my services.
Who was it?
Ned Avery. I went into Dorado to the appointed place, but no Ned Avery.
So, maybe someone wanted you in town so that
I could take the blame for killing your friend. Do you believe me?
I think I do. But what's the answer?
Find the man who wanted me in town. You'll have the man that shot Regan and just try to have you killed.
Well, that sounds like a good idea. Where do we start?
I like the word we. Maybe those two departed souls up there can give us a lead.
I never saw him before in my life.
Neither have I. Who was the first one to tell you I killed Regan?
Ben Webster, the new sheriff.
Thick-set man, hair thinning a little on top.
You know him?
Not socially. He's been trying to introduce himself lately.
I guess I'll have another talk with him.
I think I'd like to ask him a couple of questions, too.
Look, there's a big set of cottonwoods up on the north side of town. You meet me there at sunup tomorrow.
I'll be there.
Mr. Bonner,
That's right.
I'm Nancy Sturgis. I've got to talk to you.
Come in.
I love Dave so. And I know he thought a lot of you.
That worked both ways, Miss Sturgis.
For his sake, I'm asking you a favor.
Anything at all.
Please leave town.
Without finding who killed him?
It was an accident.
Accident? Why do you think that?
Because my father killed Dave.
Your father? Dave's girl told me a strange and tragic tale. One that was almost impossible to believe. But her sincerity was unmistakable. I had to accept it as fact.
Please, just leave. You never should have come.
What are you doing here?
Just got nervous. Couldn't stay away. Don't worry. No one saw me.
Well, as long as you're here, I've got some news for you. I found out who the killer is.
Just tell me his name, Bonner, and I'll take care of him. Fast.
No, you won't.
Why not?
Because you don't kill old men. And this was an accident.
Who is this old man?
Father of Regan's girl. He's got a mine. And some wild idea, he struck a rich vein. Scared to death someone will take it away from him. So Regan came by, and then the old man fired a shot to warn him off.
Killed him instead. Is that how it happened? And you believe this story?
Why shouldn't I?
Someone's lying. On my way over here tonight, I came by the mine. Some old codger took a shot at me. It's a full moon out, and I wasn't 50 feet away. He didn't even come close.
That bad a shot?
He couldn't have killed anyone. even by accident. You know, Vince, a hired gun could have killed Reagan. It isn't as though I don't have competitors.
Whoever did it's still in town.
Why do you say that?
Because they took a shot at me. And they might try again.
Because you were Reagan's friend?
Because I'm still here. And I could find out something.
What do you know about this fellow Webster?
Nothing much. Seems like a nice enough guy.
That's what bothers me. Nice guys don't usually become sheriff. No offense to your friend Regan. You see, I have a personal interest in this, too. Professional pride, you might call it. The story of shooting someone in the back, well, that hurts.
Webster probably went along with that to protect the old man.
Well, maybe that's what he wants everyone to think. I'd like to know more about this sheriff. Who could we talk to? Pop?
He's been around a long time.
Do you think we could get anything out of him?
We? You'd be taking an awful chance with half the town looking for you.
No, I don't think so. We could meet him at the mine.
It's worth a try. Besides, it might be the only chance we've got. We'll leave as soon as it's daybreak. Meantime, let's get some rest. No need for the gun, Pop.
You know me?
Yes, sir. My name's Vince Bonner. I met you over at Dave's house, remember?
Oh. Oh, yes. Do I know him?
No, he's a friend of mine, named Joe Hodges.
What you fellas doing up so early?
We wanted to ask you a few questions.
Yeah. You don't fool me. You've come to buy my mine. Well, it ain't for sale. Here. Let me show you something. That's from the assayer's office. Highest grade ore they ever seen.
You're a rich man, Pop.
I can thank Ben Webster for that. He took the samples over personally.
Have you known Ben a long time?
Well, assured he was born here. Figured for a time he might marry Nancy. And he might have if Dave hadn't come to town. But Dave's going to marry me. I know Dave's dead. But I keep pretending he's still alive. That'd make me a mite touched.
No, Pop, I wouldn't say so.
Now you know why I can't sell the mine. I'm going to leave it to Nancy and the man she marries. I guess now that'll be Ben Webster. Sorry, fellas. The mine ain't for sale.
It's Webster. There's no doubt about that. I'm going in to get him.
No, you're not.
Sorry, Bonner, that's the way it's going to be. Now let me go.
Look, I'll take care of Webster, I promise. But it's got to be done my way. You going to listen?
I should have let you be bushwhacked. All right, I'll listen.
Now, this is what I plan. Did you tell anyone you saw me last night?
Oh, no. Did I do the wrong thing?
No. Except now I'm pretty sure that your father didn't kill Dave.
He didn't. Well, who did?
Ben Webster.
I've been expecting you, Bonner. How'd you make out on that wild goose chase of yours?
Better than I expected. I found Vance Carter.
You did? Where is he? Why didn't you bring him in?
Would you like to go up against him alone?
No, I guess not. How do you know he'll stay where he is?
I don't. That's why we better move fast.
All right, I'll get a posse together right away.
Hold it. We don't need a posse. The two of us are enough.
Look, why take the chance? Carter's dangerous.
I don't want to see him killed. I want to see him hang. That's why I think the two of us are enough. Or don't you think so?
All right, Bonner. I'll go with you. I'm ready. Hold it, Bonner.
That gun could go off.
It's going to. Now get down off that horse.
You mind telling me why?
Not at all. I don't like being led into a trap. You see, I know all about you and Carter.
You might as well tell me the rest.
When the horse I loaned you came back alone, I figured everything was all right. Until somebody told me different.
Like who?
The third man at the pass.
You know what happened to your other two friends?
Not friends, Bonner. All three were strangers. They didn't know me. I gave a different name when I hired them.
A name like Ned Avery.
I had everything worked out fine until you showed up.
When you pull that trigger, I'm going to get off a shot. I doubt if I'll miss. But if I do, Carter will kill you.
I'll take care of Carter when the time comes.
The time's come, Webster.
Surprised I'm here? Bonner, you don't think like a killer. Webster and I do. I thought it'd be wise to get here a little early. Something could go wrong. How do you want to die, Webster? You got three choices. On your horse, on the ground, or on your knees.
He's got a fourth choice. We can hang him.
He doesn't have a fourth choice.
Yes, he does. I'm taking him back to stand trial.
Who'd believe you?
A judge and a jury?
In this case, I'm the judge, the jury, and the executioner. All right, hit the ground, Webster.
I say he's going to stand trial.
Don't crowd me, Bonner. Give him back his gun.
Sorry, Vance.
I hoped it'd never have to be you and me.
That's up to you. I'm ready anytime you are.
Like I won after all.
Webster, you can't get both of us.
Bonner's right. One of us is going to take you.
After all, you're not shooting a man in the back now.
Your hand is shaking, Webster. What's wrong with your trigger finger?
Getting nervous? Let's not go through this whole thing again. You got a pair of fists, use them.
All right, Bonner. I'll do it your way.
What are you doing?
I paid $80 for this suit. And I don't intend to soil it on a crooked sheriff.
I hope you left enough of them to stand trial.
I think he'll live.
It's a pretty good job. It's better than using a gun, isn't it?
What are you trying to do? Convert me?
No. It was merely an observation.
You've got a point. Besides, it's more fun.
Chico.
Senor Boner.
Ayúdame a parar este puerco, condenado. Espérate. ¿A dónde vas? Pedro. Chico.
Sí, señor.
Shut that pig up.
Shut him up, will you? What kind of a ruckus is this at a time like this?
I got your wire a day late. What does the doctor say about Brimstone?
Sí, señor. You got here, and Pedro's very busy. Pedro got to go.
What do you touch? Pedro, come back here! Chico!
Brimstone! You in there?
Hey, you, Joe Tanner.
Yes, ma'am?
Come here. Now, I ain't gonna yell too loud, 'cause you're new on the job. But where you been since sunup? I sent you up to the line shack to fix the hinges on the door, not to rebuild the whole shebang.
Yes, ma'am, I know. Well, I got to looking at them fine herds of wild horses that's running on your land up there.
And I ain't paying you top wages to stick your snoot in it on my time. Now get this horse I just shoed back to Doc Curry. And I mean move.
Yes, ma'am. Sorry, ma'am.
Vent Bonner. Well, slap my hide.
Brimstone, you're supposed to be sick. You're supposed to be dying.
You fell for it, you big jackass. I know as sure as God made little apples that I'd have to think of something good to get you back here.
And you ain't sick, and you ain't dying.
No, and shut up. I got my reasons. Well, you should have known I'm healthy as a horse. I can't even get sick.
Would you mind telling me what that's got to do with pulling me off of a good job in the middle of Roundup?
Because I'm hiring you for a job that'll pay 3 times your Roundup pay and expenses. Now, come on, and I'll
3 times my... You can't give me all that money for what?
Would you get in there and wet your whistle and cool off? This is different, and I can't trust nobody but you. Now, come on, get in there. Come on.
You've got a grandson, 12 years old, in school in Boston?
stop looking like that's a freak of nature. Even a lady blacksmith can have a grandson.
I didn't mean anything, Brimstone.
Before Buckshot died, I promised him if our kid ever had any of her own, I'd do right by him if I had to hock my boots.
No offense intended, Brimstone. I remember about your daughter dying. And her husband a year later.
But you didn't know about him killing himself when his kid was a year old. Because he couldn't handle getting poor. What's wrong with Sylvester Cromwell III getting the chance to be a gent like his old man? Education, the works.
Nothing, Brimstone. I only thought that...
You ain't got time to think. You gotta be in Santa Fe in 2 days to meet that kid's train.
Santa Fe's 80 miles away. What are you talking about, 2 days?
2 days. Now come on out to the wash house and get a bath. It'll wake you up. Now that Doc Curry talked me into bringing the kid here, we're gonna be on schedule. Now come on.
What's Doc Curry got to do with me? Why doesn't he meet the train in 2 days?
Because he's too blasted old to chase trains. Now get! I'll tell you all about it when I scrub your back.
Well, son, suppose we get acquainted. It's gonna be a long ride.
The Cromwells never fraternize with their employees. However, you may tell me about my grandmother. How literate is she?
How, which?
Literate. It means educated, cultured.
Oh. Well, I doubt if she can compete with the Cromwells on that score. But she's human as all get out. For instance, she's sacrificed a great deal to get Doc Curry to handle that $2,000 to send back to you each year for your schooling. And I got a hunch that underneath all that brimstone...
You need not proceed. I just wanted to verify the suspicions I had when I heard the driver refer to her as Madame Brimstone. Be assured I'm thoroughly capable of coping with the situation.
Well, my dear, we have succeeded admirably in duplicating my room at Oxford when I was a boy. Now, if you would consent to marry me.
Now, don't start that hogwash again.
But, my dear Madam Brim, there is so much that we could do together for the boy's upbringing.
Yeah, with my money and your brains.
But, my dear...
Look, it's one thing letting you mooch liquor out of me, but if you don't stop talking matrimony, I'm going to run you clear to Frisco.
But you do me an injustice, madam. I only want to be your humble servant.
Then lay off the firewater. I don't want you soused when my grandson gets here.
Chico.
Pedro, come on, we got company. Tanner! Get over to town and round up Doc Curry and the Englishman. And if Cedric's soused again, get Doc to sober him up. Come on.
Pedro, get these things, will you? Brim, I want to talk to you about,
Oh, Vinny's beautiful. Just beautiful. Slap my eye.
You have the stench of a stable. You live in a pig pen. Let me go, you big bully! Let me go! You prefer him? Let me go, you big bully! Let me go!
Now you listen to me, you snooty little brat. Just look at this room your grandma fixed up for you. I ought to tan your hide.
Senor, don't hurt him. Please, Senor. You shut up. No scared little foreigner has to intercede for me.
It's all right, Chico. You're a good boy. He'll find out. Now, when you're able to act like a gentleman and apologize to your grandma and to Chico, you can come out. Come on, Chico. Pedro, where's Brimstone?
She's out back, Senor. Pedro's very worried.
Take that stuff up to his room, but don't talk to him.
Si, senor.
Brimstone, you in there? Anything wrong?
Anything wrong with taking a bath?
No. Need any help?
No! And lay off that kid. I'll handle him. I got another job for you.
Now look, Brimstone, you know I got a job up north.
Get saddled up. You're trotting over to Phoenix to hire me a blacksmith. A man blacksmith.
All right. See you in a couple of days. I got back a day later and I figured the place had undergone a renovating that even smelled good. Not a pig or a hen in sight. Only thing I didn't like was the way that two-bit Englishman was still hanging around.
Ah, welcome back, Mr. Bonner.
I should have thought Scotland Yard would have caught up with you by now.
Really, Bonner? It's refreshing the way you Westerners josh a fellow.
Yes.
I was just studying Master Sylvester's thesis on the Darwin theory of evolution.
That figures.
He's a genius. His brilliance amazing. Well, if you'll excuse me, I'll conclude my study at the boy's desk.
Well, it's about time you got here.
Mrs. B.J. Brim. I must say you look a lot better on the end of a broom than you do over a hot forge.
Mrs. B.J. Brim is still stupid, and you can't scrub that off. Now, did you find me a blacksmith?
Yes, ma'am. He'll be here next week. The boy hasn't changed.
No, and he isn't gonna. You look tired. Why don't you sit down? I'll get you something to eat.
May I try? Chico is a pretty good fighter, too. His Indian friends over at the reservation teach him. Then we start well matched. I think so. Only the meetings might make the difference. Nonsense. You get used to them. All good fighters do. If you win, I'll give you my gold medal. I was the champion at Haddon Hall. That one pinned on your robe, amigo? Yes. If you win. Now get over there and we'll start. Where, amigo? Where do I stand? Right over here.
Did he apologize?
Oh, he acted like they were yanking all his molars out, but he did. Ain't his fault. I even tried to bribe him.
How?
I'd told him that I'd make him richer than the Cromwells ever was. That someday he'd get all this land, the whole works. Besides the $25,000 cash that I piled up. I even showed him my hiding place for it. Know what he said? He popped off I'd be a lot smarter to keep it in the bank. Cooked my goose.
He's got a point. And Brim, you're not the first person in the world to try and buy someone else's love. He's smart enough to know that.
Yeah. He hasn't talked to me since. He don't talk to nobody but the Englishman. That's why you're going to take him out of here on the first stage tomorrow.
I'm sorry. Where's the boy now?
Oh, he's out there fooling around with that boxing business.
Look, maybe he just enjoys being top gun around here. What that boy needs is a little whittling down to size. Let me try.
Hey, don't you go to whittling too hard or I'll come out there and skin your hide.
Why, it's very good, Sylvester.
It was inevitable.
After an exhibition of your style, how about a sporting comparison with Chico's frontier style? Seems only fair.
Si, senor. Chico is ready.
You wouldn't be scared, would you?
Certainly not. It's a scientific fact that a superior intelligence can triumph over anything. How do we proceed?
Well, since we don't have a bell, I'll just get off a shot for between rounds and you ready, Chico?
Si, senor. Oh, do I get the gold medal if I win?
I don't know. Does he get the gold medal?
Certainly. I'm not a welcher.
Chico, you get the medal. Now, back off. Everybody ready?
Aunt Bonner, what's going on?
Let him alone. Let the whittling take its course.
You pig!
Get up, amigo, or I win now.
I'll kill you, you ignorant pig!
Padre mío, I win.
Sí, mi muchacho.
Do I get the medal now, senor?
Well, Chico, I guess you do. Senor Chico Alvarez, it gives me great honor to give you the Gold Medal Award for Haddon Hall.
Let me go. I'm no baby. Barbarians. Savages. I hate all of you. You can keep your land and your money. I don't want you for my grandmother.
You and your whittling.
Look, Brimstone, take it easy. The kid'll come around.
He's right, my dear. Let me go to him. We're friends. I can make him understand.
Oh, you can try if you want to, but it won't do no good. You heard how he hates me. Tomorrow morning, you're going to be on that stage with that boy.
Brimstone, are you sure you can trust Maybury?
I'd be sunk without him right now while you're making things worse with your blasted whittling.
Senor, I only tried very hard to be his friend, too. I don't want the medal if it keeps him unhappy.
You keep it, Chico. After all, you earned it.
Ah, Sylvester, my boy, I know how you feel. I wish I could run away with you.
Why can't we? Please take me away from this place. Please take me away.
Of course, my boy. We'll go away tonight when everyone's asleep. But we must be very, very cautious.
Oh, come
on, boy. We can't keep my friend waiting at the line shack with the buckboard ready to take us to Phoenix. Hurry up with your bag.
All right, sir. No, muchacho, you mustn't run away. Where's the buckboard?
There isn't any buckboard, little man.
What do you do here?
Waiting for you to sit down, little man.
What does he mean?
Exactly as he says. You are going to sit in that chair and tell us where grandmother is hiding her money.
I will not. That is her secret. She trusted me with it.
We haven't got all night. Maybe you'd better tell him what might happen to Grandma. If he don't talk, and fast.
You wouldn't dare hurt her. Let me go! You traitor!
Now, you will tell us quickly, so that Tanner can go and find the money quietly. If you don't, he'll go anyway. We'll take care of grandmother in her sleep. Then we'll take our time finding the money.
Don't hurt her. Promise you won't hurt her. It's under the floor of the wash house, behind the bathtub.
I'll be back pronto. We'll head for the border.
Now, let this be a lesson to you, little man. Never trust your co-conspirator out of your sight, especially when there's a lot of money. Now, I'm going to lock the door. If you don't want anything to happen to your dear grandmother, you stay here and be very quiet.
Muchacho loves you.
Chico, start over and slower.
He had to tell them where your money was, because he said they would kill you and find out anyway. I saw through the window, Senora. He tried to keep your secret because he said you trusted him.
Oh, Grandma, don't cry. Oh, look at you. How are you? Are you all right? You're all dirty, your clothes.
Well, Grandma, I reckon I like it.
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen.
He must have laid
never
out
knew
there
what
for
happened
5
to
minutes.
him, I know.
2 black eyes, didn't know who threw him out.
He must have been out there for high.
That's
What we were laughing about. That AP got thrown out and never knew who did it.
Tending a friend's ranch while he's away is all right, but gets a little lonesome, too. So weekends you get to town, looking for a little excitement.
Vern's my girl, and I aim to keep it that way. Vern's company for any man who will buy her a drink.
Seemed as if I didn't have to look far.
Anytime, Will. Anytime at all.
All right, boys. Go ahead. Go on.
Take it easy, lady. That's a light trigger.
You hear what the man says? Whichever one of you standing after the shooting, I'll gun down, so help me. Well, go on.
Forget it, Will. Let's get out of here. She isn't worth fighting over.
Thanks. Sorry I had to do it that way. I didn't intend to.
It's all right. I thought you handled it real good.
Uh-oh. Here comes real trouble.
You mixed up in this?
Not exactly.
Leave him alone, Sheriff. He was just looking on.
This just about does it, Fern.
You gonna run me out?
I'm telling you to leave town by the next stage.
Now, wait a minute, Sheriff. This lady hasn't done anything wrong.
Nothing wrong. 3 men have been gunned down on account of Herb, 1 each in the last 3 towns she's been in, and it's not gonna happen here.
Oh, I thought she brought those fellows up real smart.
Forget it, friend.
You keep out of this. Now, she prevented something happening that could have been serious.
Well, next time, maybe she won't. Remember, Fern, the next stage.
Now, there are laws in this state. You just can't tell a person to get.
You're mixing into something don't concern you, mister.
Sure it concerns me. Next thing you know, you'll be telling me to get.
And just who might you be?
My name's Bonner.
Well, maybe it wouldn't be such a bad idea you did leave town.
Sheriff, this is Vint Bonner.
Well, no sense the 2 of us fighting over like that.
I didn't like the sound of that word. Now, you got no legal right to tell this lady to get out of town.
Well, maybe you figured take a court to do that, Mr. Bonner?
That's the only thing that can do it.
Morning, Sheriff.
Good morning, Judge.
Howdy, Fern. I just heard what happened
Now,
here.
look, you can't put me in jail. You gotta let me wait for the stage. If I leave, I go like a lady.
A lady? Well, that'd take some doing. This here court's now in session.
Court? What court?
How do you plead, guilty or not guilty?
What's the use?
Now, 6 months in jail starting 2 minutes after tomorrow's stage.
Now, just a gall darn second. What's she accused of?
Being a vagrant.
What proof you got?
Now, how long have you known Fern?
About 10 minutes, but...
And you think she's a lady and ought to be treated like a lady?
That's exactly what I think.
Well, all right. All right. If she stays, you'll be responsible for her. And somebody's got to be responsible for her.
Well, there must be somebody in town who...
Ain't nobody in town to side with her. Women folk been after me for weeks to rid the town of her.
That's right, Judge. If you don't, there'll be a shooting.
Well, look, and not if Mr. Bonner takes care of Fern. This here court now reverses itself and says that Fern Foster is in custody of Mr. Bonner for 60 days. I'm making her a lady, Mr. Bonner, by law. And if she slips, we'll hold you, too. Court's adjourned, and Lego that there bottle, Fern. You ain't paid for it. 2 glasses, bartender.
You're a real gent, Mr. Bonner. But you talk too much.
Yeah.
Where we
we headed, Mr. Bonner?
Like I told you, ranch about 6 miles out.
What about the other folks out there? Maybe they'll mind some.
Well, there ain't no other folk.
Oh,
Well, 'tisn't my idea, none of it.
folks are sure going to talk themselves blue.
Let 'em. I gotta pick up some grub over at the grocery store. I'll leave some extra for you, I suppose. Get up.
Well, now, ain't that something? Look just like a lady, don't she? She can't be no lady. She's Fern Foster.
That's kind of funny, all this, will you? Hey, Will, come on over here.
These here's your groceries, Mr. Bonner. It's been a real pleasure holding them for you.
Haven't you started supper yet?
Why, Mr. Bonner, I don't know how to boil an egg. I was wondering when we were going to eat. I'm getting awful hungry. No, I can't remember when I had a real home-cooked meal in an honest-to-gosh kitchen. It's been so long, I got no memory of it.
Been traveling around a long time, huh?
Do I look that old?
Oh, I didn't mean that.
Yeah. Quite a spell.
You always worked in saloons?
No.
Is it true that men have been killed fighting over you?
Well, certainly. No, not exactly. Just seems wherever I go, trouble gets. Especially where men are concerned.
Well, I suppose some men got nothing better to do with their time.
Now, look, Mr. Bonner, I've bounced a whiskey bottle off of...
No offense, Fern. No offense.
All right.
Yeah, you can do up the dishes.
Me?
Well, I don't see anybody else around here.
I don't know how.
Oh? Come over here. Come on. Now, this is a dishpan. You put hot water in the dishpan and you add soap. Then you rub the dishes in it and then you rinse them. I want them done in 30 minutes.
Or what?
There are a lot of mice in that jail in town. Some rats, too. And the food is just terrible.
Oh. That's the way it's going to be, huh?
Mm-hmm. That's the way it's going to be. Madame? It's time for breakfast, isn't it?
It isn't even light yet.
The sun was up an hour ago. Get dressed. I'll give you 10 minutes.
All right. All right.
Good morning. Gee, dressed like that, I'd hardly know you.
I declare, Mr. Bonner, The way you're looking at me now, I can almost feel myself blushing. I don't recall when that happened before.
Well, turn around. With your hair fixed that way and your face all washed, you look different.
I do? How?
I don't know. Like a girl that was meant for one man, maybe. Pretty enough to be kissed.
Maybe I could make the coffee. You know, anybody can make coffee.
Yeah, anybody can make coffee. How'd you make this?
Half and half.
Half and half what?
Half coffee and half water. My ma used to say any woman made her coffee weak was meant for a weak man. Is there something wrong, Vint?
I was just wondering if the bottom was still on the pot.
You don't like my coffee.
Oh, it's all right. I just think I'll cut it with about a gallon of water.
All right. If that's the way you like coffee.
Well, some men like coffee strong enough to curl your hair, and some like it strong enough to scalp you. Me, I'm kind of in between.
King used to say he liked his strong as an Injun boot.
King who?
King Warren.
Didn't know you knew any gunfighters?
I know him. He just got out of prison. 5 years. I've been wondering what he'll think about this.
This?
No. Me staying here?
Any of his business?
Uh-huh. Kind of. He's my husband.
I reckon folks do figure it's a pretty funny setup.
Yeah, it's funny. But Fern's a lot nicer girl than most of the women in this town that are talking about her.
All right. But there's one thing you ought to know. She's been working with an outlaw named King Warren.
I've heard of him. How's she been working with him?
She drifts from town to town, finds out when it'd be a good time to hit the bank. King moves in.
I see. Well, as sure as I stand here, all that girl wants a chance is to live respectable, and I'm going to see that she gets it.
Any way you want it, as long as you've been warned.
All right, I've been warned.
Bonner, King's been seen heading this way, riding a paint horse. Keep your eye out for him.
I'll do that.
King.
I told you I'd be back.
It's been a long time.
Has it?
What's the matter?
Vint Bonner, that's what's the matter.
Oh, you don't understand. They were going to run me out of town. He stood up for me. He said he'd be responsible.
You really expect me to believe that?
It's the truth.
All right, prove it then. When do I hit this bank?
I can't do it, King. Please don't ask me.
This is the way you waited for me? The first chance you double-cross me?
It isn't that way. Because I don't want to see you sent to prison again. Or maybe killed. It's because I love you so much. And I missed you so much. I won't tell you about the bank.
All right. I'll handle it myself.
Oh, I thought...
Never mind. Get dressed. I'm going to take you to town, to the hotel, for dinner.
You're asking me to dinner?
That's what I said.
But why, Vint?
I'm gonna prove you're as much of a lady as any female in that town, so get dressed. Go on!
All right.
Blue-nosed. Old biddies.
You don't like the way I look.
No, you look fine.
Let's go.
All right. You wait in the dining room. I'll put the rig in the livery stable and be right back.
Oh, gee, Vint, I don't
Do
know.
as I say. You're as good as anybody else. Get it!
That was the funniest thing I've ever seen. Oh, boy, I want to tell you, boys, it's good to be back. Ranching isn't for me. Oh, well, look who's here.
Come on, Fern.
That's right, come on. Let's put a little life in this place.
Come on,
What do you
Mr.
say,
Bonner,
boy?
have a drink with us. I said come on.
Look, Mr. Bonner, I've had enough. I'd sooner be run out of town than be bored to death. So kindly move out. No, I mean it. I don't want to go back there. Miss Bonner, you put me down. Miss Bonner, you saddle-sore cowpoke, you put me down. This isn't very ladylike. Then I told you I wasn't going back to that ranch. But you didn't have to be so gall-darn rough.
Why don't you just shut up?
What'd you have to bust in again for, Vint? Why didn't you just let me go?
I'm gonna prove you're a lady if it kills me.
It likely will, too.
What do you mean by that?
Vint, you're a wonderful man. I wouldn't want to see you hurt.
Oh, so King's in town.
Have you seen him?
I've seen him.
Vint, he'll kill you for sure. He's here because I sent for him. I used to help him rob banks. Drift into town. Find out when the bank was going to have a lot of money on hand.
I'm glad you told me that, Fern, because I already knew.
I told him I wasn't going to help him anymore. Said I didn't care anything about him. He doesn't love me. He thinks it's you and me, I guess.
I reckon nothing but a bullet'll make you understand, Bonner.
Take it easy, King.
Your flowery talk's turned her head.
Look, you're married to her. You're her husband. Why don't you start acting like one?
That's just what I'm gonna do, Bonner. That's just what I'll do.
Where did he go? I told you he'd try it again.
I don't think he wanted to kill me, Fern. I think he loves you too much.
One of these days, you two are going to meet head on.
I hope not.
You'd kill him, wouldn't you?
I couldn't just stand there, Fern.
What'd you come here for?
The running M is a big spread. Tomorrow they pay their help. The bank will have more than 17,000.
Fern, I knew you'd see it my way.
Didn't I always say we made a good team?
Yeah? I'd heard that you were living out at that ranch.
I'm glad you were jealous.
I should have killed him.
You couldn't kill him because you thought I loved him. It's when I knew I had to help you. No matter what.
Do keep getting in my way, Mr. Bonner.
Looks like it.
This time I'll draw him.
If you're fool enough, you go ahead.
Don't look like there's much else to do, does it? Anytime, Mr. Bonner.
King, don't do it. Please don't.
The minute you step out of this bank, you're going to be cut down.
Well, I shot my way clear before.
Sure. But not with your wife at your side. You know, I think she'd rather die at your side than see you ride off alone. Morning, Sheriff.
Good morning. I just met Fern and King in the bank. We had a little business.
So I see.
There's no reason for you to arrest him now.
Well, I guess maybe not.
We won't give you any trouble, Sheriff.
That'll be just fine.
Oh, folks who don't make any trouble are welcome here. You figure on staying, Fern?
My husband can stay, too?
No reason why he shouldn't.
Oh, sure ain't. You willing to accept responsibility for King, too, Vint?
Huh? You mean like I did for Fern here?
It worked out real good.
Well, Judge...
This here court's now in session,
Judge,
and we're going...
I've got plenty of respect for the law, all right. But the less I have to do with it for a while anyway, the better.